Ruth Davidson revealed she is against the idea of a second EU referendum to Scottish Tory leader who campaigned for Remain, said, "I would quite happily never see another constitutional referendum in my lifetime because I find them divisive. I've always said that you shouldn't keep running referenda until you get the position you like personally." Her comments come after former UKIP like Nigel Farage suggested there should be a second poll on membership of the bloc to silence Remainers like Tony Blair and Sir Nick Clegg. Ms Davidson also revealed she would be holding talks with Prime Minister Theresa May on Monday over delayed changes to the UK government's EU withdrawal bill. Scottish Secretary David Mundell last month gave a commitment that Clause 11, which deals with the devolved administrations, would be amended by MPs, after pressure from opposition MPs and Scottish Tories. But opponents and Conservative MSPs hit out this week when it emerged any changes will be made by peers. Sources blame the hold-up on the resignation of Cabinet Office Minister, who led talks with devolved administrations, and the festive break. Clause 11 would see EU responsibilities in devolved areas initially transferred to Westminster. The UK government has said this will allow common frameworks to be created ahead of further devolution. Ms Davidson said she wished agreement over EU withdrawal bill had already been nailed down. "I would quite happily never see another constitutional referendum in my lifetime because I find them divisive." Ruth Davidson, but Scottish and Welsh ministers have branded it a Westminster power grab. Ms Davidson told BBC Radio Scotland's Good Morning programme that she wished agreement over bill had already been nailed down. She said the devolved administrations wanted Clause 11 to be replaced and rewritten, but that had never been done before and was quite complex to do. Ms Davidson added, "The work that's going on between the civil servants of the UK government and the Scottish government is taking longer than we had thought and anticipated, and I find that frustrating." Ms Davidson played down the possibility of becoming an MP in Westminster after 2021. It also requires political input as well, so ministers are talking as well. One of the very first phone calls that David Lidington made when he became the new cabinet secretary in charge of part of the guts of Brexit was to John Swinney to have the discussion. The MSP also played down speculation she could be heading to Westminster after last month suggesting in a magazine interview conversations about a switch from Holyrood could take place after the next Scottish Parliament elections in 2021. She said, "Today, this is my home. Scotland is the only place I've lived and worked in my life, and this is where I'm staying. Being leader of the opposition in Scotland, being a potential First Minister, is a bigger job than many of the cabinet jobs down south, and certainly larger than sitting on the back benches. And that's where my commitment is."